Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beast Reptile Rampage, episode number 5. This is the 5th battle in round 1 and today we got 2 serpents fighting out for a spot in round 2. So, these serpents both have a bit of a reputation on them, one of which being on the younger side but still having a good amount of fight in him, despite never really making it far in previous tournaments. And when I say far, I mean I don't think he's actually won a battle round 1 yet. This one still has a reputation for being a beast which will definitely make it to round 2 at one point. Will it be today? I don't know. But maybe at one point. Meanwhile, the other beast has a reputation which we are all familiar with. Not being released for the new generation era of Beast Quest. This beast was here for her first tournament in the All Generation tournament. This beast had the epic storyline of corrupting another beast and using her as a vessel to make it into the top 10 or 20, top 20, using her to make it to the top 20 before eventually showing her true form, only to meet her fatal demise by the claws of Carnivora. So, one had been in 2 tournaments and died in round 1. The other has only been in 1 and made it to the top 20. So, different reputations, and definitely different snakes here we're dealing with here. Let's introduce them. Representing Series 14, the Cursed Dragon, we have Vislak the Slithering Serpent versus his opponent. A representative of Series 27, the Ghost of Caridin, we have Gargantua the Silent Assassin. So with these snakes here, I do think this is going to be a very quick fight, to be honest, but I'm going to treat it with the same amount of respect I treat every other fight in the early portion of round 1 anyway. So, with that, let's get to the stats. Vislak the Slithering Serpent. Vislak can slither silently across the ground or rear up as tall as a tree to tower over his foes. Spines crest his broad head and back. Some say he can taste fear with his flickering black forked tongue. Sorry, I need to breathe. Once he's pinned you with his stare, venom squirts from his razor-sharp fangs. But it isn't poison. Once the venom hits the prey, it hardens into a resin from which there is no escape. Age 5, power 231, magic level 159, fright factor 88, size 278. Powers and abilities: snake manipulation, borrowing, venom breath, weapon deflection, limited sand manipulation. He can create twisters of sand when in sandy regions. Natural weaponry and enhanced durability. Minions, snakes. Weaknesses, enchantments, and tongue tip removal. Gargantua the Silent Assassin. This beast does not have a bio of her own, so we're going straight to the stats. Powers and abilities. Powers and abilities. Master Manipulator. Mind Reading. Gargantua can see a person's desire and use it to manipulate them. Mental Link. Gargantua has a mental link with whoever wears the ring, and being able to, out of Gargantua, being able to speak to them mentally. Borrowing, natural armor, natural weaponry, venomous fangs, which can kill powerful beasts such as Epos in a very short time, and constriction. Weaknesses is melting weakness and severed mental link. Okay, so with that, Vislak versus Gargantua. The battlefield's going to be a desert terrain arena, and with that, let's get into the battle. As the chamber doors open, both beasts exit from their chambers and immediately stare each other down, both hissing in aggression. Vislak makes his way up to the center of the arena before creating a sand twister directly in front of him to protect himself from Gargantua. Gargantua sees that, makes her way towards the sand twister, goes to go right through it, but is knocked back by the power of it. Realizing that, yeah, Vislak does have some strength in him, Gargantua instead lifts up her tail and smashes it onto the ground below her, knocking a bunch of sand into it, causing the sandstorm to dissipate. As Vislak's caught off guard by this, Gargantua makes his way up to her. makes his way up to him. Vislak then reels back, creates another sand twister, to deflect Gargantua again. Gargantua immediately lifts up a tail and knocks sand into it. As the sand dissipates, though, Gargantua's gone and there's just a giant hole where she was. Vislak realizes that Gargantua is going to burrow beneath him just to catch him off guard. Vislak immediately slithers to the other side of the arena and burrows down as well, just before Gargantua appears out of the sand where Vislak was to catch him off guard, but he's gone. Gargantua immediately reels back down, and both the beasts go round the arena, in connecting their tunnels together, trying to find each other. Vislak, having the smaller size, tries to stay hidden though. Is very careful where he goes, tries and hides from Gargantua to frustrate her. Gargantua eventually realizes that there is a way to get Vislak out. So what Gargantua does, she comes out through one of the holes that's in the battlefield and lifts up her tail and smashes it against the wall of the arena, causing the whole arena to shake and the sand in the tunnels to collapse, thereby immediately exposing where Vislak was. Vislak shows himself and shoots resin directly towards Gargantua. Gargantua sees that, ducks out of the way before snapping at Vislak. Vislak reels back before lifting up his tail, shaking it frantically to try and causing a bunch of snakes to come around Gargantua. Gargantua sees this, lets out a mocking laughter before immediately lifting up her tail and smashing it, causing a whole bunch of sand waves to just knock the snakes back. Vislak immediately uses that to his opportunity and goes to bite down on Gargantua's neck. Only for when Vislak bites down on Gargantua's neck, his fangs immediately shatter from colliding into Gargantua's metal skin. Vislak reels back in shock from this, seeing his broken fangs lying down on the ground. Gargantua turns to Vislak, laughs menacingly in his face, and says, "You really thought you could defeat me so easily? You're just as pathetic as the last ones I battled." Using her pitchfork-like tail, Gargantua uses it and stabs Vislak right in the neck. Vislak is gasping for breath as Gargantua uses her strength and hoists Vislak up into the sky with just her tail. The audience members are staring at this in shock with the brute strength that Gargantua is showing. As the tail plunges deeper into Vislak's neck, Gargantua is continuing to gasp for breath, trying to think of anything that can save him. Gargantua then tries to shoot his venom at Gargantua. Gargantua immediately moves her head out of the way of the poison and bites down onto Vislak's head, causing the venom to instantly stop coming out, and Vislak's eyes to go wider as he's now losing breath from the pitchfork in his neck, but also consciousness with the fangs going right into his brain. Gargantua then stops biting into Vislak as his wounds are already fatal enough, and stares into his eyes, seeing the life drain from them, and all Gargantua says is, "You are an embarrassment to all the snake kind," before using the strength in her tail and slams Vislak right into the wall on the opposite end of the arena, where Vislak succumbs to his wounds and dies. So that Gargantua has won and Vislak has lost. If you think Vislak should have won, please leave a comment below why you think that, how my words final, and Gargantua is moving on to the next round. So with this matchup, let's be honest, there's no way Vislak was going to win this. And if there was a way Vislak was going to win this, it's not a way in which it's not enough to warrant me thinking, yeah, Vislak would win this fight. I know sometimes I make the wrong call every now and then, where a beast that probably shouldn't have won a match does win. But this is one of the times where I'm just thinking, yeah, no, Gargantua would win. No competition there. Even if Gargantua didn't kill Vislak, Gargantua would still possess him to, make Vislak do what Gargantua wants, and Vislak will wear a ring. But nah, Gargantua, as she said, Vislak is an embarrassment to snake kind, just like I'm sure Vipera is, and decides that she can do better without Vislak. And that is why Vislak's life ended very quickly in this battle. This is probably the shortest battle I've done this tournament. Will it continue to be the shortest? I don't know. But let's be honest, I don't believe Vislak was ever going to win this battle. He tried his best, but Vislak has more battle. Gargantua has more battle experience, which gives her the victory by a landslide. So with that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification button down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.